I now call to order the first meeting of the Jacksonville Youth Council for this school year. Greetings to all, including those who are watching via TV. We are here in the same chambers that the Jacksonville City Council meets in. The City Planning Board and other official bodies meet here also. We are proud to be a part of the official voice for youth in the Jacksonville City, and we take this responsibility very seriously. For those of you watching on TV, we want to make sure that you are invited to take part in our future sessions. The Youth Council is open to any student who is eligible to attend high school in Onslow County, and we meet here on the first Thursday of every month. Over time, we have had students from Northside, Southwest, Jacksonville, White Oak, Richlands, Swansboro, Dixon, and Lejeune. We have an exciting year ahead of us. We have a youth center that is readily available, and we have new staff to help us this year. We have some new ideas and also some programs that Youth Council has been involved with for many years. I believe it is going to be a great year, and I'm ready to get started, and thanks for coming, and thanks for everyone who is tuning in. Now let's begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice Chairman Seth Rootlinger, and we ask that you continue to stand after the pledge of our invocation led by Jacksonville High School seat Carolyn Marks.
If you'd please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, we ask that you keep a protecting hand on all of those affected by Harvey and Irma. Keep us all safe this upcoming week, and we thank you for everything that you have done for us. In your name, amen.
Amen.
At this time, we will have Miss Lily Gray talk to us about a new initiative that is going to be implemented citywide. It is called One City, Our City, My City. Please give her a warm welcome.
First of all, I want to say thank you to our chair of our youth council, members of the youth council for allowing me the opportunity to speak. And thank you to each of you that are here tonight. I must say I am so excited and so proud that I think this is the biggest turnout that we've had in several years at least. So I want you to give yourselves a hand. Making sure that they got here. What I'm here to do tonight is introduce you to a new campaign within the city of Jacksonville. It's called One City, Our City, My City. This is an opportunity for you all as youth to get involved in a very meaningful way with your city. This initiative was launched by Mayor Phillips, who has been meeting over the last year with several pastors and faith leaders in our community. And they've had discussions about how we can be a better city, how we can be a united city. For those of you who are following the news, you've seen a lot of divisiveness in our country that falls along political, religious, racial lines, gender lines. Whatever can divide us seems to divide us. But you've also seen lately how we can come together as a community when needed. If you know what just happened in Houston, and what's currently happening in Houston. When we have crisis or need in our community, we somehow manage to come together. And that's what we want for Jacksonville at all times, to always be unified, to always work together. So we're promoting this year a year of civility, where we would treat each other with respect, that we would care for our fellow citizens, and we would care for our city, that we would work together, that we collaborate together in various endeavors. And with that in mind, we have an official mission and vision statement that I would like to share with you. I've handed out a card. You all have received this card. And it simply says, it is our mission that the One City campaign works to promote respect, caring, and collaboration between all citizens for a better Jacksonville. If we follow that mission, we can envision that we would be a city that is a unified and caring community, that we are one city. So what does that mean for you? You're getting ready to start your school year. You are the voice for our youth. You have the ability to influence your peers. You will be making suggestions and ideas throughout this year that this council will hear that may ultimately reach the actual city council. And with that in mind, I want you to take a look at this card. And it's simple. There's some key words on here that we would ask you to embrace. Practice kindness. Make time. Exhibit patience. Lend a hand whenever you can. Embrace tolerance. Welcome diversity. Seize the opportunity. Whenever you see an opportunity to help, take advantage of that opportunity. These are things that will help you build your leadership skills, your civic skills, and your citizen skills. Just being a good citizen. Promote peace and honor our community, which if you embrace this campaign, you'll begin to say, my community, right? We all live here, we're all responsible for what goes on in the city, and we all are responsible for taking care of it. We have a pledge board outside. We're asking all of you to commit tonight before you leave to sign our pledge board, which is committing to embrace this mission. We're asking you to share this with your fellow students within your schools. There's a service project that you just feel led to do that you think would exemplify the mission. We're asking you to consider doing that. If you would like to take on a service project and hear more about opportunities to serve as a youth council, we would like to hear those ideas. We have a website. You can get information on our website, which is listed on the back of the card. And we're just excited to have you involved. One of the things that actually comes to mind when I think of the role that you all play in your schools is bullying. And we would like to ask that you have a year, actually this will start with a year, I think it just needs to be outright outlawed. No bullying. That for all those of you who have been bullied, you know how it feels. For those of you that bully, you're not representing your city, you're not representing your school, and you're not representing this youth council when you participate in those kind of activities. So as a leader, if you see it going on, we want you to be that influence that would encourage your classmates to not participate. That is a form of exhibiting the principles of the One City, Our City, My City campaign. And for those of you who know the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, it is quite that simple. If you do not want to be bullied, do not bully. If you want to be respectful, show respect. If you want a city that is civil, caring, and kind, then you have to be civil, caring, and kind. So these are the principles that we're asking you to really meditate and reflect on this school year. And we're looking forward to a successful campaign and that you all will get involved whether individually or collectively as a group. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gray, for coming to speak to us about the new citywide initiative. Now we will move on to the welcome and introduction of officers to Taylor Rudder.
Hello, my name is Taylor Rudder, and I am the White Oak High School seat. I want to welcome you to this first meeting of the school year for the Jacksonville Youth Council. This is a council that governs itself and decides what actions it would like to engage in, and also offers advice to the elected officials of Jacksonville. Whether this is your first time or you've been a part of the Youth Council for some years, you are welcome here. I've been involved with the Youth Council for some years, but no matter whether this is your fourth year of participation or your first meeting, each of us who participate today are equally important. For those of us who have been privileged to be elected to lead this group, we'll introduce ourselves as we speak. Be sure to talk with us if you have ideas, questions, or just want to talk to us about the Youth Council. As indicated, this council is open to all high school students in Onslow County who are in good standing, and all are welcome. Thank you for coming, and let's have a great year. To help guide us, we will introduce ourselves as the currently elected officers of the council. There is a vacancy and some soon-to-be vacancies, but we'll talk about those later.
Hello, I am Adejuan Ojibobo, and I proudly and honorably serve as the chairman of the Jacksonville Youth Council.
I'm Seth Wellinger. I serve as the vice chairman of the Youth Council.
I'm Brooke Gruber, and I serve as the secretary.
I'm Nia Thompson, and I serve as the recorder.
I am Taylor Rudder, and I am the White Oak High School seat.
I'm Carolyn Marks, and I'm the Jacksonville High School seat.
I'm Leslie Chong, and I'm the Northside High School seat.
I'm Janelle Libby, and I'm the at-large seat.
I want to introduce some other people who help to make these youth council meetings possible. Ms. Tracy Jackson is the official liaison between the Youth Council and the City of Jacksonville. She will be with us this year, overseeing many of our activities and events. Ms. Pamela Trafton Community Engagement Coordinator with the City of Jacksonville and works with the Youth Council in preparation for meetings, events, and activities. In addition, Ms. Pamela welcomes you to contact her with any comment, suggestion, or question at 910-938-6551. We thank them for their help. We also want to give a special thank you to the G10 media crew who assists us all year long and make sure our meetings are televised. They are Alan Covey, Lisa Miller, Kimberly Tillman, and Kevin Rillapil.
Now switch it over to Seth Brutenlinger.
This evening, you will be asked to help chart the future for this term of the Jacksonville Youth Council. Your officers have worked to help provide a framework for this year, but we want your input into what actions you would like to see for our future. Before we do that, we'd like to give you a quick overview of what the Youth Council is, what it has done in the past, and then offer a personal perspective on how Jacksonville Youth Council has benefited us in the past few years. Particularly, for those who have not been here before, my fellow officers will help with this presentation. I now introduce Adijuan Ojibobo.
The Jacksonville Youth Council came to be because the youth asked for it. Some students were selected by their school to attend a community summit. They were asked to comment on various issues, and they came up with the idea that there should be a youth council. They wanted a voice for youth, a connection to government, and a chance to talk about their future. The city collaborated with Onslow County schools to make it happen. And today, you sit here as part of the Jacksonville Youth Council. You might ask about why is it the Jacksonville Youth Council, and whether it's just for Jacksonville people or just select people. Actually, the Jacksonville Youth Council, it was hoped that there would be many youth councils throughout the county, but the city of Jacksonville was the only one to react to the request. After several years of only allowing people in the Jacksonville area on the council, the Jacksonville Youth Council opened the youth council to any high school student in Onslow County. Again, welcome to all of you, and you are welcome here. You might ask what the Youth Council has done since 1998 when it met for the first time. It can generally be divided into these 7 areas. Number 1, practice governance. Number 2, volunteer and help charities. Number 3, learn about the community. Number 4, serve the community. Number 5, create opportunities for high school students. Number 6, leadership development. And finally, connect youth from different schools. And I'll pass it over to Jacksonville High School seat, Carolyn Marks.
The practice of governance, how we operate in a democratic society, is very important. The Youth Council is empowered to select our own leadership and decide how we want to do things. We are a formal group, so there are elections and officers take an oath before the Jacksonville City Council. I'll now turn it over to Janelle Libby.
Another area the Youth Council has worked with in the past is to help charities. The Youth Council has decided it wants to help annually, and whether it is in service or providing funds. Each year, the Youth Council has sponsored the Christmas Cheer Day, where we gather to help this program that helps needy children and their families. We also help other functions of Onslow County outreach, including the soup kitchen and the free clinic. We also have the chance to meet with the leaders of our community, including the Onslow Commission and the people who work to bring industry and job to our community.
Another area of activity has been to serve the community. Each year on the National Day of Service, MLK Day, we select a project to serve the community. We are open to ideas of what you may want to do this year. Since the beginning, the Youth Council has participated in the annual Make a Difference Day. That day is set for October 28th this year, and we will assist with the children's area at Oktoberfest, which benefits the local homeless shelter and soup kitchen. The Youth Council also is asked to represent youth at special functions. The Youth Council represented youth at the 50th anniversary of the Korean War and were accompanied by other city representatives. Youth Council officers assist the Civic Affairs Committee with the Pledge of Allegiance in the 9/11 Patriot Observance. For many years, members of the Youth Council have represented youth at their annual observance of the Beirut bomb blast. We will do this again this year. And I'd like to introduce Brooke Gruber.
Another function of the Youth Council is creating opportunities for high school students. One of the findings was the need for a youth center. The Youth Council took that issue to the Jacksonville City Council. The Youth Council told the elected leaders of Jacksonville that a youth center would be beneficial, help focus attention on youth, and serve forever as a demonstration that this community cares about its youth. During the past 4 spring breaks, we held events within the center all week long. During the summers, we have had a series of events, including the Empowerment Series, the Officer Academy, and other activities. This school year will be the 9th year that the Youth Center will be open for planned events throughout the entire school year. We look forward to seeing you at them. We will be announcing some events and dates tonight and more at our next Youth Council meeting. Part of being an advocate for youth is to let others know that we exist. One way is to participate in the holiday parade. The Youth Council has connected youth from different schools through events like Battle of the Bands, Youth Fest, Youth Summits, and Youth Center events. Now it's Leslie.
So let's talk about our successes. The Youth Council has mentored and instructed young students as well as provided a positive influence for these students. The Youth Council has served the community by providing services and has helped a myriad of local charities. The Youth Council has been a symbol for youth governance by electing its own leaders and providing a voice for youth in our community. Now I pass it on to Carolyn Marks.
We would like all of Onslow County eligible high school students to participate in not only our youth group, but any event that takes place at the youth center. In order to do this, we need your help. Perhaps you know of someone who could not be here today, or someone because of sports or extracurricular activities could not participate until next semester. That's okay. We want as many people to participate as possible in the Jacksonville Youth Council and Youth Center events. That's why we're developing a list of possible activities. Some will take place next spring and some will start now. There are activities and opportunities that everyone could get involved in as much as they would like. Some of the other activities that we have planned are Christmas Cheer Toy Drive. For more than nearly 40 years, Onslow County Christmas Cheer has helped needy children and their parents. They do this by giving toys, food, and other needed items that help make Christmas a special time. They do this with items that are donated. It takes more than $25,000 to purchase food and toys not donated by others. We want to help. Christmas Cheer needs new, unwrapped toys that are suitable for children of all ages. However, they have 2 troubled ages, boys in the 10 to 12 age, and both girls and boys who are 13 to 15. For the teens, Christmas Cheer needs items that are about $5 to $10 in value and that can be used throughout the year, something that sends the message, you have been thought about. For the 10 to 12-year-old boys, the toys should also have the value of $5 to $10, be safe to play with, and not involve guns or violent activities. Beginning at our next meeting on October 2nd, we'll start collecting toys at every meeting. We'll have prizes for the best items each meeting up until Christmas, and we may start some special activities to really bring in the toys.
Onslow Make a Difference Day. Make a Difference Day is the National Day of Being Good. It's always the 4th Saturday in October, and this year it's set for October 28th. The Jacksonville Youth Council has helped make Onslow County activities work over the past years, and this year we want to help. In past years, we helped with a giant yard sale to help benefit charities in our community, assisted at various charities in doing community cleanups. This year's activity is being discussed tonight in the planning session. We'll keep you informed about activities for October 28th. If you are interested now, let us know right after the meeting. I will have a sign-up sheet ready for you and indicate you're willing to help.
The Jacksonville Youth Center. We are still working hard to plan out a series of events to take place throughout this school year, but we need your help. Please see any of us after the meeting if you are interested in assisting.
Elections. Earlier, I promised we would talk about elections. Most of us were elected last spring to lead you for this year. Some, however, were elected last fall, and their term will soon end. The point is, there are opportunities to be part of the leadership. Currently, we have one vacancy to be filled for our 9-member executive leadership team, of which we will accept nominations for at the November meeting. At the December meeting, we'll likely have an election and fill these positions. So there's an opportunity to be involved.
Upcoming activities: Patriot Day observance, September 11th. Harmony first meeting, September 21st at 4. Harmony second meeting, October 19th. Burett Memorial Observance, October 23rd at 2. Mayor's Youth Leadership Summit, October 29th. Make a Difference Day, Oktoberfest, October 28th. Freedom Fountain Observance, November 9th. Annual Holiday Parade, November 18th at 7 a.m. Festival of Trees, November 19th.
Another exciting opportunity for Onslow County teenagers 13 to 19 is Harmony. In this project, youth-led groups are able to apply for funding and assistance to create young, youth-directed projects that address community issues and challenge in this region. What is really unique about the project is that there is a broad board of students with a few adults who make decisions about which youth groups get money for their ideas to turn positive ideas for action into real solutions. See me after this meeting for the application to be part of Harmony, and the first meeting is September 21st.
At this time, we would like to open the podium for any comments or announcements that would benefit JYC or that members might be interested in. These could be things such as a new idea for the Youth Council to undertake, a community event or activity, especially for students, or a volunteer or scholarship opportunity that would interest the group. Feel free to come up and share with us at this time.
Just walk up to that podium and if you have anything to share, just be free. We're pretty laid back group, so just feel welcome. Oh, yeah. Can we just give her a round of applause?
I just sort of jotted this down, but I know that public libraries need a lot more funding to give children more books to read, so that for school projects, which I actually had one last year in my library when I went, it used to be a lot more fun. Maybe that was because I was a kid, but I thought that when I went back, again, there weren't as many research books. There weren't a lot of books there for people to check out that needed them. So maybe if we had more funding for public libraries in Jacksonville, that might encourage more reading, which might encourage more learning, which might, have more people graduate from college or other things. So that was kind of one of my ideas.
Thank you for your input. Thank you. Does anybody else want to come up? Oh, yes, thank you.
I guess it's gonna work. So, actually, I had an idea last time I was here about 7 months ago when we started coming up with ideas and what to invest in as an idea. We presented it to the mayor. Actually, no, that was 9 months ago now that I think about it more detailed. Oops. But it was kind of like what Megan just said about the whole idea of investing money into the library to have more books. But also something else that the library also needs is that it's also not only a source from information from books, but also a place that people use to search things online. Now, if any of you have used the public library's Wi-Fi, it's not the best, and their computers are quite a bit out of date. So, and since a lot of people need to go to that library to fill out job applications that require online usage or an email account, that's where they have to go to do it if they don't have Wi-Fi at home. That, it's also where school students have to go if they don't have Wi-Fi also. I had a friend of mine in middle school who didn't have Wi-Fi at her house, but she still filled out the report saying that she did have accessible Wi-Fi, so she would use the public libraries. But I would see how it would be quite a bit of time until she could, upload things to the internet and then download things from the internet from her school computer due to the fact that it was a bit slow. and also a bit slower when using the desktops that were also available right there. So to comment, I guess I'll add on top of what Megan said, to invest in public libraries is also to help improve the technology there as well, due to the fact that there's so many uses for it. And since there's people out there who don't have technology or don't have Wi-Fi or the ability to connect to the internet, this is probably one of the best places for them to go get it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Samuel Yoon, and I think as a community we should initiate some sort of help for the homeless people of our community. And I believe that we should start some sort of food drive or fundraiser to help out the less fortunate than us. Yeah, that'll be all.
Thank you.
To go along with what the first two people said, this kind of goes along with youth education. Since this covers all of Onzo County, many, as we all know, many of the different schools, they have different like fields of specifications. Like Northside, they've got a very well-funded technology program. Well, White Oak's got a good arts program, Southwest, the automotive program, and et cetera, so on. And I was thinking this is definitely long-term and probably outside of our boundaries, but it's probably a good place to get the idea out there, is in Onzo County creates a program or sort of school that only focuses on like those career clustered classes. So it's kind of like transferring to another school, like just trying to transfer to Jacksonville to take like an engineering course, but you can't do that because it's full. Having a school that's only there for those classes to be able to take it and increase interest in other activities that aren't offered at the set school.
Thank you. Oh yeah, and when you step up, please make sure that you say your name so like we can get to know you. Thank you. If no one else has anything to say, I have some stuff I want to say. So anyone who is interested in, if you're looking at a law career, you want to go to law school, if you're interested in that field, there is a program called the Youth Court Diversion Program. So basically it's teen court. So first-time offenders in high school, if they do an offense, the SRO might defer them to YCDP, which is basically it's a step below juvenile court. So it doesn't get on your record. So we're dealing with real cases in YCDP. So if you're interested in being a lawyer, you want to see how the courtroom's like. I've personally did a lot of cases with YCDP, and it's a really opening experience. Before I wanted to be a trial lawyer, but after I now know I don't want to be a trial lawyer, I want to be a corporate lawyer. So like it could really expose you to different things. So if you want to be part of the Youth Court Diversion Program, please come up to me after the meeting and talk to me. Something else, being an officer. If you're interested in being an officer, please come talk to me. If you want to be chairman, please come talk to me. It's an awesome experience. Like I have learned so much through this position and my previous position as Secretary of the Jacksonville Youth Council. I've had the best time with my fellow officers, and I feel like you don't really get the full experience of the Jacksonville Youth Council if you don't become an executive. And it's one of the most fabulous experiences that you'll ever have. So I know that I'll look back 20 years from now and be like, I'm glad I did this. Yeah. Over the summer, I had the profound opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. and meet with staffers of senators and Congressman Walter B. Jones. So I had the opportunity to meet like different representatives that represent us in D.C. and I was able to express our values, our beliefs directly to the politicians in D.C. So if you're interested and you want to make a difference and you think that Youth Council could really propel you to the next level, please come network with us because we are an open group and we are excited to have all of you here. And if you're sitting here and you're like, oh, this is boring, this isn't the only thing that we do. We have monthly meetings, but outside of this, we do a lot of volunteering, we do a lot of things. So just come sign up for the different events after the meeting. And if no one has any other announcements that they want to make, I'm going to proceed to the closing. But, please step up. Yeah. As long as you live in Onslow County, you should be fine. Yeah, that's a good question. Anyone else have anything to say? Go.
Oh, I just wanted to tell you guys about this really cool program I heard about. Now, it's actually funded by the United States government. It's called the United States Senate Youth Program, and it's a very prestigious program. So about 2 delegates from each state are picked, and if you're really into politics, it's really good for you. And you get to meet the president, meet a bunch of senators in DC. It's an all-expense paid trip, and you also get a $10,000 scholarship. So if you guys are interested.
I think it's a question.
Please step up. Do you have a question or? Yeah, please step up.
What was that program called again?
United States Senate Youth Program, USSYP.
Oh, I have something I'd like to say. Well, since this is the first meeting of the school year, I wanted to share about a cool experience that I had as a high school junior becoming a senior this summer. Well, there's this thing, it's called Tar Heel Girls State, and there's also a Tar Heel Boys State. And they're held at different times, but both are at Catawba University, which is in Salisbury, North Carolina. And we have American Legion Auxiliary here in our town, and they are willing to sponsor you guys to go up to this summer camp. And it was an amazing experience for me. I learned all about parliamentary procedure and different things that really helped me with the youth council, and also public speaking tips. It was just an awesome experience, and I recommend it to all of you. If you are a rising senior, you can attend this camp, and please come see me after this if you have any further questions about it, because I'd like to share.
Just a reminder, I have the sign-up slips for all of our outside of Jacksonville Youth Council meetings, our volunteer groups such as Harmony and Make a Difference Day, which will be next month, and we'll have other things too if you have questions after the meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, all the dates are really important, so all the dates that are on the agenda, please take that with you, put it in your phone, put it on your calendar, tell your parents. We want you guys to be involved in the community and reach out. So if there's nothing else we want to say, I'm going to proceed to the closing of this meeting. Listed in your agenda are the next meetings. We also have these special sheets that are available on your way out to remember the dates and for you to pass out to give to your friends who are not here. If you have any ideas, please talk with us. For you here in the council chambers, all the officers are wearing the blue shirts, and we are wearing our name tags as well. Talk to any one of us. And if you want to run for an office, talk with us some more. Remember, we will have an election for the open seats, our third meeting, and another coming up in the spring. In the future, our meetings will last no longer than 90 minutes, so usually our meetings are not this long, but since it's the first meeting, we want to get everything out so you guys can make a decision whether youth council is for you or not. We always meet at City Hall or the Youth Center across the street. Thanks to everyone for coming and those who have been watching on G10, and I now declare this meeting adjourned.